life comes with difficulties.
Yeah.
Life isn't as easy, and the beautiful things in life don't come for free.
Yeah.
Just because you are going to be facing that doesn't mean that your end goal and your desires are null and void. Doesn't mean that you don't deserve it or that it's not going to happen for you. It'll still happen for you, but it's only going to happen for those that are willing to see the process through and through.
We are not meant to be only doing things in our own interest. That's not why we're here. And I think that's a delusion that a lot of people have, that everything must happen in their favor for them alone. Sometimes you are meant to be serving. Sometimes you are meant to be a follower. We are not all going to be leaders, and you need to accept it.
You almost really negate the part of what it takes, that it is going to take something from you.
Yeah.
And although the taking is difficult, it is necessary, and you will get in return.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what more? Guys, I've already lived the lives. I'm only 28. Between now and 38, what's going to happen now?
More.
But I guess I'm not scared of that now, because I know that I have what it takes.
Yeah,
even if I don't feel like it in the moment, I have what it takes, and God, family, friends, myself will help me see it through.
Hi community, welcome back to A Cup Full. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so grateful that you are here. How are you all doing? I hope you're good and taking care of yourself. I, for one, cannot wait to get into today's episode. I am so excited. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, firstly, because I am not riding solo today. But secondly, because when me and this incredible woman get together, it's always such a beautiful time. Some of you probably, most highly likely, know her. And if you don't worry, because you're about to get to. She is a digital entrepreneur, the founder of production company and YouTube channel, The B Word, producer and director, my colleague. That sounds so deep. I don't think we've ever called each other colleagues. In my eyes, a blessing from the Lord himself. The one, the only, my girl B, Bokang. My sister. Welcome, finally. Oh my gosh.
If people don't introduce me as a blessing from the Lord,
Hey, listen. Listen.
Then I'm not doing whatever it is.
Listen. I am so happy to have you here. Like, this is the perfect timing.
Finally.
When I said finally, I meant finally.
On A Cup Full. Okay, because you guys don't know how long this has taken. This is like literally a year in the making.
Yeah, this time last year, I DM'd you on Instagram. And I was like, please come onto my podcast.
And I was like, no.
No, but she did say no, because she said it's not the right time. She did say no, but she wasn't rude about it. She really did say no.
That was actually a very big moment for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not very good at saying no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in general, especially when it comes to creative stuff, and because we had a relationship and it was something that I wanted to do, but I had to be honest with myself. Like, girl, it's actually not the right time, so just express that you want to do it.
Yes.
But not right now. But you can't right now, so I'm like, proud of you, B.
Yes.
Because now look where we are now.
Yeah, and the topic is not even the same. We are talking about something completely different. I wanted to talk to you about community and building community as a digital entrepreneur and as someone who owns a production company and who has run her own stuff for many years. But today, in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about living in abundance and not lack.
Darling.
And I thought, who better? If not you, then who else? Because we have had multiple conversations about this whole living in abundance and not living in lack. And I think it's the time for us to talk about it. So, yeah, I really wanted to... The first thing that I want to ask you, how I want us to open this up is... I want to know, what has your reality been with having a mindset of lack versus having... an abundance mindset? Like, what has it looked like?
Oh, girl, we getting deep right off the jump.
Of course.
But let me tell you, I definitely have known lack mindset very, very well for a long time in my life. And it's interesting because I think I've kind of married the idea or meshed being humble, being frugal, not living in excess with what is actually lack and scarcity. And the reason I knew that, okay, you're actually not living in humility, but you're living in fear or in lack, is because there was exactly that. There was fear behind it. There was a negative, the root itself was negative and not necessarily positive. And so, and yeah, I think a lot of things influence that. It can be your background, it can be, you know, your own personal experiences, how you were raised, maybe your goals and what you're going through. But it's like such a fine line between, you know, that lack mindset and just holding so tightly onto everything because you're so used to not having, or just so scared and living in that fear. But now, I mean, it's so interesting that my physical reality hasn't really changed so much, but internally there's been such a great work, you know, from an emotional, mental, but more so a spiritual level. I've grown so much, and that has really helped kickstart this abundance mindset and just an overall sense of peace in my life.
Wow.
So yeah, that's me. What about you, girl?
Woo! Not what about you. I've had to overcome a lot, especially with how I've seen myself. Like, this morning when we were having a conversation about this, I was saying to you that I have learned to affirm myself a lot and remind myself that I deserve to have things and to have them in abundance, and not from like greed or just like ego, but it's that the things that I've never thought that I've deserved, I've had to, what did you call it? Reconfigure, re-engineer my mind and shift myself from looking at my circumstances or looking at my background or even looking at how I was raised to say to myself, you know what, you can change your reality, you can shapeshift. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but you are the one that is in charge. You are the one that says to yourself, okay, we're waking up this morning and this is what we're going to do. These are the decisions that we're making. So really, abundance for me has looked like that, and moving towards abundance has looked like that, and leaving lack behind, I think, is the best thing that I've ever done, because when I have been in a mindset of lack, I have really struggled to even see myself as deserving of certain things, and I've even self-sabotaged. Lack, it will have you self-sabotaging.
No, 100%,
you will be messing up and messing with your destiny. That's something that Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts said. She's like, some of y'all be messing with your destiny and you think you're doing the right thing, but what you're doing is self-sabotaging, and what you're doing is putting yourself in a position where you are going to constantly be in lack and never in abundance. And abundance is a big mindset thing. It's a big mindset thing, because it could be burning. The house, the cars, they could be burning, the money could be burning, but inside of you, if there is that thing that you've planted and you're watering it, you'll be able to get through it, because if you have that abundance perspective.
Yeah, and a lot of the time while you're speaking, it just came to me that abundance is really a decision that you make.
Yes.
You know, it isn't necessarily informed by what the world looks like around you, but you decide that, okay, I'm going to make that shift.
Yeah.
And I'm going to train myself and train my mind and constantly remind and affirm myself that I am abundant.
Yes.
Everything is working out for me.
Yes.
I deserve those things.
Yeah.
And reprogram yourself to go from being in a lack mindset to abundance. But it really just starts with the decision of, even if you don't believe it, even if you don't know if it's going to work or if anything's going to change, just committing to, okay, I can't be where I am or where I have been.
Yeah.
So
we're moving. Yeah, and speaking of that, I want to know, what has living in abundance required of you? What have you had to let go of? What have you had to let die? There are certain parts of us, when we are choosing to move in a certain direction, we have to let them die. Pastor T.D. Jakes was saying it in a sermon. He's like, you need to find a dying place for certain parts of you. You can't take certain parts.
Cut the cameras. What are you saying?
You can't take certain parts of you, the old you, into the new place that you're trying to go to. So what have you had to let die? What are you killing? Oh, we are not promoting violence here, okay?
Yes, please, everyone. This is all very metaphorical.
Yes.
Please, we just need to put out that disclaimer.
Please.
Because I was going to say, I'm dying right now. I'm in the process of killing myself. I'm not, really, guys. Please. Oh my gosh, that is so... Yeah, that really hit me.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I just said right now, I think I'm very much in that process. Now I gotta find my dying place. I'm like, woo! Send me the link to that one.
Of course.
I mean, there's so many things, and I think also it's what I'm realizing is that it's a journey and it takes a lot of time to transition and to get to that abundance mindset and that abundant state of being. So I'm not even necessarily there, which is why I'm saying that, you know, there's things that I'm still allowing to like wither away and die, and there's things that I'm still fighting for that I probably shouldn't. But I guess the first thing that just comes to mind is I had to let go of my idea of what my purpose, my life, my dreams should look like, and replace my will, or not even replace, but really pray for my will to be aligned with God's.
That's good.
And then also just understanding and coming to peace with sometimes what I want and what He wants for me isn't necessarily going to be aligned.
Oh, yes.
But because of that change of heart, and because my prayer is to have God's will in me, then it's okay. So like the detachment to those more material, earthly, tangible desires, whether it's certain kind of measures of success, being praised by people, especially as we spoke earlier, being overachievers our whole life, and being praised for, you know, the hard work we do, the skills, and just achieving and getting milestone after milestone after milestone, kind of having to detach my identity from the things that I'm able to create on a worldly and be applauded for on a worldly level is what I'm letting die now, and just allowing God to rework in me and let me dream new dreams, and also maybe revive old dreams that I've let die as a result of lack and scarcity. Going back to that self-sabotage, I mean, there's a lot of things that you might recognize in yourself at a younger age or an earlier point of time that you really loved and wanted to do, but as life had gone on, you let go of that, or you put it on the back burner, swore you'd come back to it, or convinced yourself that maybe it's not for you. And it's not even that it wasn't for you, you just stopped believing that you were worthy of it, or that it could happen for you. So girl, that's the journey I am on right now when it comes to my dying place. My funeral home.
Your funeral home. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's I'm big on that God one. It's, for me, the abundance thing is just focusing on God. Really, that's my one answer. And then I'll obviously just echo what you said. It's reviving some old stuff that were dead before, and you're like resuscitating, and then it's like letting go of the new stuff that you had put in your head and thought that was the thing that you were meant to do. We recorded an episode for your podcast, According to Be, a while ago. So if you haven't listened, please go and listen. I also reposted it on the acupfulll page, but please go listen to that. And you and I were talking about the fact that we are not looking to do things that are not aligned with our purpose. That's how you get lost. That's how you do live in lack, because you're doing things that have nothing to do with what God wants for you. So as people that are believers, that have faith, we are strongly anchored and secure in the Lord. And I just didn't know this before, but there is very little. I'm lying. There's nothing I can do in my own strength. I got tired of it. There was no abundance in doing things in my own strength. There was so much lack. There was a lot of lack. I was anchored in all of the worldly ways of doing things. And then I was crashing and burning at every turn.
Honestly.
So I've just said to myself that the abundance is where the Lord is at, and where He's calling me is where I'm going. So yeah, I really couldn't agree more. Damn. Oh, what a journey, what a task. The task. The task of living. The task of living. Yeah, girl. I really loved what you said. And I also want us to keep it very real, because when the weapons have formed, right, and the rejections are coming in hot and heavy, Bokang is looking at me and she's like, I know what you're talking about. And life makes no sense. It is so hard to feel positive, to feel like what is yours will make its way to you in abundance, or to stay in that everything is working out in my favor mindset, what are some practical things that have helped you stay in the abundance mindset, in believing that all of the things that are happening, even when they are bad, when it's horrible, are still working out for your own good? Because I know that a lot of people will say to us, yeah, you know, believers will tell you that you must stay positive or stay anchored in the Lord. Where is he when my life is falling apart? So, like, what are some practical things that things that you might do every day or every now and again to remind yourself that it might look like this now, but it's not going to stay like this forever?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have heard and have obviously been in that situation of like, God, where are you at?
Same.
Where is he when, you know, things are happening?
Yeah.
But what I'm coming to learn and have been, thankfully been hearing more and more often is that God is there with you in the trials.
Oh,
he is
yes.
right there. He's always been there. And as Christians, we're never promised a trial-free life. We're never promised, you know, easy, that there'll be no struggles, there'll be no challenges.
Yeah.
But God promises that he'll see us through
Period.
those things, right?
Yeah.
And shame if you're really not a Christian or a spiritual person. I won't say this podcast is not for you. In fact, it's for you even more.
Exactly.
To just, like, you know, open up and get a bit of perspective. But I think because that's the standpoint that we're both coming from, it's that's my first point of reference.
Yes.
In those moments of struggle. I would encourage someone to obviously pray about it.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes the prayer, people don't even know what to pray. You need to know that God already knows what's in your heart, but like in any relationship, he appreciates you coming to him.
Yes.
You know, that's that relationship, that this is what is on my heart, this is what I'm struggling, this is my burden.
Yeah.
But I'm coming to you because I'm so weak and I want to give it to you. And he wants you to give it to him so he can carry it.
Yes.
You know, and in him carrying it, he's not necessarily saying that it's gonna like disappear and solve immediately.
Yeah.
But it lightens the load on you and gives you the strength that you need to continue through whatever your battle, whatever your challenge is. And that's why we say not in my strength but in his.
Yes.
Right? So I mean, that's number one. And then the other thing, if for you prayer isn't that number one place to go, I would then, in a similar way, look at your support structure and look at people around you and talk it out. Have people speak life into you. I mean, a really silly example is that I don't think right now, thank you Jesus, hallelujah, amen, I'm not in my trial and it's so hard and things are horrible.
Yes.
I feel like I've come out of that season, which is so good. But even now, it being in a better place and being in a place where I've had certain prayers being answered, I am experiencing challenges. I am experiencing resistance. I am experiencing like frustration and discomfort still in this place in the promise, right? And I was just telling you earlier this week, I was like, things are so hard. I need it to be easy. I need it to be soft. I can't. And Tsogetso was like, listen, yes, you do deserve a soft life. Things are hard and things will get easier for you. But also remember that you can do hard things. Tell yourself, you can do hard things.
Absolutely.
And it's again, having those people that remind you that. Because the next day, I went to my Pilates class. Yo, let me tell you, that instructor was trying to kill us. Okay. I got a bone to pick with you. When I see you, it's on site. Okay. It was so physically difficult.
Yeah.
And at a point I was like, I just want to give up. I can't. Then I just said to myself, you can do hard things.
I love it.
I love it. And I powered through it and I was like, I can do hard things. And at my lowest point, I found myself getting even more strength. And it was just me applying what was spoken into me the day before, reminding myself of my ability and my capacity. Because sometimes we don't see ourselves the way that God sees us, but also the way that the people around us see us too. We need to have that reminder. So those would be my two go-tos.
I love it. Oh yes. Oh, that's beautiful. You know that the both of them are so important. Prayer gives you a chance to be very intimate and vulnerable with God, and then having people around you. And that's why I always say you need to be very picky about the people you choose to have in your life, because the words that people speak into your life, they come to life. They absolutely do. And you cannot, not with you, don't play about you, don't allow people that cannot play that role to come into your space, because it will impact you significantly. We cannot play about the people we choose to surround ourselves with. I think that's another form of messing with your destiny, but that's a conversation for another day. I wanted to say that I think the big thing that is showing me the most amazing things about the Lord is reading the Bible. 3 months ago, you told me about the Bible, I would have said your lie.
That sentence coming out your mouth.
Yes. But I'm reading the Bible, and I'm watching a lot of sermons. You and I will send each other sermons, and watching sermons also gives you a different perspective, and it puts you in a different place with the Lord, because you are getting a message from someone who he directly appointed to give you that message, who he directly appointed to teach you. So reading the Bible for me as well is a big thing, and watching sermons obviously is another big thing, and just really listening to worship music and worshiping, and sometimes just sitting in your room or sitting at your desk and just singing those songs and just reaffirming those words, because some of the lyrics in these songs will really just touch your heart. Like, I hear some of the lyrics in some of these songs. There's a song by Maverick City Music. I think that's who they are. It is right, yes. And they have a song called God Problem. Now, they've got many other amazing songs, but that song, it moves me, because it's affirming that God is taking care of it. That I need to stop constantly trying to find solutions, constantly trying to pick at things, constantly asking him in prayer, never being thankful, always saying, but when is this going to end? When is this going to... Instead, you need to ask God, please show me what you're trying to do in my life. Show me what you're trying to do through me. Show me what you are trying to do within me. So, yeah, I think absolutely praying and 100% having people that are saying things to me that are encouraging me and affirming me and giving me the support that I need. So... yeah, guys, take that stuff seriously. It's so important. And I love what you said about the fact that God he just wants you to come to him. You are going to find strength. He wants to help you. He's not even helping you carry the load. He's carrying the load for you. He's not a moving company where he assists you for an hour. He's assisting you permanently. It's a full-time relationship, one-on-one basis. He is really a therapist. He's a provider. He's a savior. And I think it's beautiful to learn more and more about the Lord every single day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful experience. And I encourage everyone, please pray. Pray. Start there at least. Give yourself time to just start with Our Father. My sister or my brother or whoever's listening, start with Our Father. It's a start, and then you eventually get into things and are able to communicate with God. So yeah, as you can hear, we're passionate. We're here for it. We are absolutely here for it. Yeah, girl. And another thing is that you and I are aging. We're growing. I think everybody ages, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. We are officially in our late 20s. The 30s are not so far for us. And aging really gives so much perspective, and I love it. What I want to know is, how has that shaped your mindset and really changed how you see and perceive things growing up?
Amen. There's been so much growth.
There's
been so much growth. Like, thinking about it, and I'm like, in less than... You only turning 28 in the next 2 months, right?
Girl, what's 29 saying? I'm excited for you.
Girl, it's around the corner, honey. 29 is like knocking on the door.
Knock.
But honestly, I am so at peace. I have no fear. If anything, I'm just even more grateful. And I think that's been a big shift in how I look at aging.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like, oh, man, I have the privilege of being on this earth for yet another year.
I love that.
And I honestly just get better with age. So it's at every single milestone, I get to meet a newer, more evolved version of Bokang. So
wow, I love it.
Yeah, it makes me look forward. I think like a lot of people have been saying that their 30s, they're really excited for it.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of known that the 20s will be a bit of a mess.
Woo!
A bit of a mission, which they have been. And I'm in a place where I'm definitely just coming more into myself. And not only just coming more into myself, but really accepting and liking and stepping into who I am and who I have been as well, without any shame, more proudly, and just truthfully, not having to mold myself.
Yes.
And, for other people. I'm not living for other people anymore.
Yeah.
I'm living for the true authenticity of who I am, and for who God has called me to be, and just discovering that. So honestly, I don't even remember what the question was, but in terms of age, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
But what about you?
Ooh, wow.
I know you always say that who I was even at 25 is completely different.
Oh,
you've had such a big transition.
Yes.
Especially this year.
Yeah. So, wow. I had forgotten the question I asked you, and I just looked at it again because I was like, when you said, so what about you? I was like, I can absolutely relate now. Now I can relate to what you just said about the fact that you are enjoying it and you are guaranteed to meet yet another evolved version of yourself. And now that I've grasped that, it excites me so much because I'm like, this is actually amazing. I'm on a journey. It's a ride. It's like I'm in a car and there are pit stops, and at every pit stop there is a newer, more polished, I don't know if I should say more polished,
like upgrade.
The upgrade, exactly, yes. That's right. It's like there's an upgraded version of me who has learned from her mistakes, who is wiser, who is more knowledgeable, and who is shedding certain ways. Last night, when I listened to the voice note that you sent me, you said to me that we are becoming the women that we have always meant to be. And that's just stuck with me. That is absolutely stuck with me. When I heard you say that, I was like, damn, this is actually happening. Even this is surreal for me because I've come so far. I was not always this person. I was not always the person that conducted myself the way that I do now. I wasn't always the person that thinks the way that I do now. And I'm very happy that there is movement in my life. I'm not in the same place anymore. And so, I've just changed the way I think, the way I see things. Experience has done that for me as well. But then learning about the things that matter and that don't. And like you were saying this morning, that at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff does not matter. It doesn't. And I'm so happy that I'm realizing that. And I'm realizing that I've also stopped living for other people. It's not about how another person feels about me. Like I was telling you this morning, I am who God says I am. That's the only thing that matters. And I'm validated by who God says I am. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it because this is where I'm at now. In Genesis, he says that he was happy when he was done creating me. Like it was well in his soul. And that's all that matters. That is all of the validation that I need. I have needed this validation all of my life. And because I was never the person that would open the Bible and read it. I didn't know that. So I sought validation in all of the wrong places and in all of the wrong people. But now we are here.
Amen.
Now we are here. And it's just exciting to see this. It's blowing me away, really, to be honest. Like, I'm just, like, so blown away. I'm like, this is really happening. And it's exciting. It's exciting for me. So, yeah, I think that's how it's been for me. Like, that's how it's looked like for me. And I think you answered this question that I'm about to ask. But I really want... Maybe we can unpack it some more. Because, on podcasts, we unpack. When you look back at 20-year-old Bokang and how she used to see her life and reality versus now... What is the difference? It could be one, it could be two, it could be many.
20-year-old Bokang was so delusional. And I think both in a good way and in a bad way as well. And on the more negative side, just very out of touch with what reality was going to look like. Especially, I suppose, at 20, I was in my second year in varsity and just was very disillusioned about the world and what life after school would look like. But that was also just very informed by who I am and just kind of this unwavering belief that I've always had of just greatness being there for me. And I suppose I still believe, or at least I've come to really believe that, greatness is inevitable and it's happening.
Yeah.
But then there was a bit of an entitlement to it. There was a bit of feeling that it's going to happen just because it's going to happen, just because I exist. There isn't necessarily going to require anything from me, and there wouldn't be a cost. And I feel like from 20 to 28, I have been paying that cost, my dear.
Payment.
They're like, the payments are due.
Monthly deductions.
Yeah.
Monthly deductions.
I've even been in debt, guys. The tax man came to collect, child. And I'm like, how am I still standing?
I can relate.
It's like, it really feels like I've had to learn a lot of things the hard way, but it is also just a refining and like removing of an immature mindset. And again, still having that realization and that knowing that, okay, Bokang, yes, so I feel like at that sense of my life, I really had even an overabundant mindset, almost to the point of like greed and just like, really, honestly, girl. But now that I know that, when there's like, do you have what it takes, you almost really negate the part of what it takes, that it is going to take something from you. And although the taking is difficult, it is necessary, and you will get in return. So I think I've just been I've had to undo a lot, because in that process, as we said, we've been paying the debts and paying the cost. There has been a lot of like moments of doubt, self-sabotaging, wavering, and that's where the lack and the scarcity now started to develop. And then, but that's also another challenge. And also, as we up level, then we're like, okay, now that we know that life comes with difficulties, life isn't as easy, and the beautiful things in life don't come for free. Just because you are going to be facing that doesn't mean that your end goal and your desires are null and void. Doesn't mean that you don't deserve it, or that it's not going to happen for you. It'll still happen for you, but it's only going to happen for those that are willing to see the process through and through,
Speak it.
So that's really been the journey, and I just feel like I've lived a million lives from then till now, especially for me internally, and the growth that I've had. And I'm like, what more? Guys, I've already lived the lives. I'm only 28. Between now and 38, what's going to happen now?
More.
But I guess I'm not scared of that now, because I know that I have what it takes. Even if I don't feel like it in the moment, I have what it takes, and God, family, friends, myself will help me see it through.
Absolutely. I really love that. I wanted to come first in everything. I was fighting. I'm coming first. It's me. I'm talented. I'm capable. I should be picked. I should come first. And that really was a lot of who I was for the majority of my 20s. And if I didn't get what I wanted, I would crumble. So I became very prideful.
Temper tantrum.
Yes. Like, and I guess that's another thing that happens when you're young. You just feel so entitled. You don't understand. You don't have the experience. You're not wise enough. You believe that you deserve. And there's nothing wrong. Hear me out. There's nothing wrong with believing that you deserve things. But there is something wrong when ego and pride are at the center of those things. When there is no purpose behind it. When you are looking to only serve yourself. We are not meant to be only doing things in our own interest. That's not why we're here. And I think that's a delusion that a lot of people have, that everything must happen in their favor for them alone. Sometimes you are meant to be serving. Sometimes you are meant to be a follower. We are not all going to be leaders, and you need to accept it. So that's something that has happened for me. I have been humbled in realizing that and seeing that. And in the season that I'm in right now, I've had to do a lot of serving. I've had to do a lot of bringing myself off of my high horse. This thing of saying I have 3 degrees, I was chosen for what? This doesn't work in the real world. It really doesn't. That's not how it works. You need to humble yourself. That's so important. It's very, very important. So yeah, I've had to step back, step out of, shed that whole idea that I must come first. I must be the one that must be chosen. I'm the more talented one, and that's why I need to walk into that door. That opportunity belongs to me. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing belongs to me. I'm realizing. Yeah, and I'm very blessed, and I'm fortunate whenever I'm very fortunate whenever something comes my way. So yeah, I'm learning to really practice gratitude. There's nothing more important. There is nothing more important, and I think God loves a person who understands what expressing gratitude is, and that you're not doing it so that you can get something in return, but you're doing it because of you understand the importance of it, and you're doing it from a good place. Yeah. So, yeah. What's the one thing you would tell 20-year-old you that 28-year-old you has the wisdom to share right now?
Keep quiet, okay? Shush. Stop it. At first, not there. Stop it.
Yes, just talking.
No thoughts.
Just vibes. Yes.
So, and I think also along with the a part of that also just comes from I was such a oversharer.
Oh, you know? That's me. You are talking to 20-year-old me. Shush and stop oversharing.
I've recently just learned the value of respecting your own privacy.
There we go.
And not having to share everything with the world and social media, whatever, from, the minute things of what you're eating, where you're going, to, big things that are happening in your life, even just the big wins.
Yeah.
Sometimes we were actually just speaking about a mutual friend of ours who has such a great opportunity abroad.
Yes.
And he hasn't told anyone about it, just the people around. And please tell everyone how your mom described.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. So my mom says that there's so much beauty in just having a secret with God. In Setswana, it goes likunutu le morena. So it's being in a secret place with the Lord. Just like you were in a secret place when you were in your mama's belly. That's secret as hell. Nobody knows what the inside of your mama's belly looks like except for you. Isn't that wild? And sometimes that's how things must stay. That's why a womb is in such a secret place. It's not meant to be seen by anybody. And that's why a bond between a mother and a child is so strong, because they share that connection. And that's how it is with us and God. We share that connection, and He wants to have secrets with us. Hey, but we want to have secrets with other people. We want to share. And it's not necessary. And
sometimes you share things prematurely. And the beauty about just that metaphor you just painted about being in your mother's belly is that the 9 months, it's important to see that through until the end, so that the child can be fully developed.
Yes.
And I think for me, as a young person, in my earlier 20s, I would just tell people things when they didn't even need to know, and well before the time of it. And that was also maybe rooted in wanting to get people's validation.
Yes.
So then I'd be like, okay, this is a good idea. Yes. Oh, okay, I do want to do this. Is this the right thing to do? And just getting that from friends, from family, or just wanting that little bit of applause from, people on the socials. And just proving myself that, there are things happening in my life.
Yes.
Or, and now I just feel like I no longer need to perform for the world. Oh, it is okay.
Beautiful.
I don't care. No offense, guys, but I really don't care about what y'all are doing. To an extent, and I don't care to share things unless I really want to, and that's just coming from a place of not living for people. Yes. So definitely now I'll tell her to keep quiet and just to enjoy the secret place, as we put it, and the building and the forming and the developing of whatever it is that has to happen in the secret place. And it's not even because a lot of people are like, don't share because of evil eye and whatnot. And like, okay. I don't know what you feel about that. I'm like, I don't know, did you, okay, this is me off-ramping, but did you listen to the episode with Two My Sisters where they spoke about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, please stop it. You're torturing yourselves with this evil eye situation, and that people are going to
now pray for your demise.
No. That's not how God works. He doesn't let people pray for your demise, or he doesn't let those things succeed. That's not how that works. Yeah. But I think, like you're saying, it's that secret place thing. It's that you keeping that intimacy between you and the Lord. It's like how we want to keep our intimacy with our friends and our partners. You must keep the same level, have the same energy when it comes to the things that you must strictly share with God and nobody else. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to tell all your business. You don't have to be an open book.
And even your closest friends, you don't have to tell them everything immediately.
Oh, yes. Go louder, higher, with a microphone.
And like, because I know friendship dynamics can be complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm even speaking from a place of a really healthy, good friendship and relationship with no drama. You don't have to tell everyone everything right now. Sometimes keep things to yourself, even just as a training and as an exercise in self-trust, you know, and in self-dependency and not being so codependent on other people.
Yes.
Just keep quiet for a week and then tell them, you know? Yeah, because some of us, we make our decisions on our lives based off of the people around us and the reception we get from them.
True.
And it's like that episode with Gugu where she has to formulate things first, you know, how she feels about something.
There we go.
Before
I love that.
she tells.
Yeah.
So literally the same thing.
Absolutely. Or if you haven't watched that episode, it is on According to Be, all listening platforms, and then also on YouTube. It's the B Word. The episode was with Gugu Letunyanzumba and Sisiyu, and she had a very beautiful conversation with Bokang. So please go check that out if you haven't. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Adult friendships.
Oh yes, per. Yeah, I actually agree with you. I have the same. Basically, shush. Keep quiet. Slow down. Also, it's fine.
Whoa. That's actually the one.
Slow down. It's fine.
That's the one.
You're gonna get there.
Go back to What's the Rush
episode. Yes. Please go and listen to last week's episode. What's the rush? There isn't. We aren't. Why are we in a hurry? No, you remember that video. Why are you running?
Why are you running? Why are you running? Exactly.
We don't need to be in the hurry that we all are, because also you then end up making some of the worst decisions when you are in a rush. Just go slow, guys. It's fine to go slow. We're almost at the end of the episode.
This was such a nice conversation.
Right?
So chilled. I love it.
Super chilled.
I love it.
But we've got something to just wrap it up nicely. Got something called Best 5. I'm going to ask you. It's not... Okay, I made them shorter because you need to give me 5 of each.
Yeah.
The first one is, what are your 5 favorite books currently or of all time? Can you give me 5? Okay.
Like, you think I have 5 current favorite books?
Of all time.
Jeepers. I know I read, but dang. 5 at a time. Of all time, that's also hard. Can I say my 5 recent favorite books?
5 recent is fine.
Okay. We just spoke about it. Yellow Face by Rebecca F. Kwang.
Yes.
You'll get into it.
I'm about to get into it. I can't wait.
The one I'm reading right now, I'm enjoying so much. It's called My Brilliant Friend. I actually watched the TV show on HBO. It's based in Italy. It's an Italian book, basically around this complicated friendship of 2 girls as they go from childhood into adulthood. Shot beautifully, like the acting was great. So getting into the actual book itself, I love it. I'm transported. I absolutely adore. And then I'll also say Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, which is like just even weird for me, for Matthew McConaughey to be one of my favorite authors. But oh my gosh, I'm gonna reread that book. So surprising because I think with read a lot of autobiographies, but with that one, it just showed me a different side to him, and there was a lot of life moments. And then also, like, as an actor performing in the film industry, there's just a lot of things that I realized during reading that. So definitely that one. And then 2 more. You know what? I will say the Bible.
Oh yes.
I will say the Bible.
Oh yes.
Because I'm trying to, you know what? The Bible's been difficult for me to get into, but I've been enjoying the words and the verses of the day from the Bible app.
I love it.
And
that is
really,
still the Bible.
And I'm doing like more devotionals and challenges, and it really is a living word, as in it's just so applicable to your life right now.
I love it.
So I'm getting a newfound appreciation for that.
I love it.
But I'm not gonna sit down and
open the Bible.
Yeah,
I think it happens in waves sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just getting Bible verses from the Bible app, the verse of the day, or from devotionals, and then sometimes you're like full speed, let's get into it.
Yeah,
because it's a storybook at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. It's like you're reading a story, the different chapters, and
And then my last one is called Lessons in Chemistry, because I have to have a little rom-com in there, but also it's like very different.
Love it.
You also need to take that one. I made my mom also read it. So you must take Yellowface and Lessons in Chemistry and read both of them.
Okay, I will.
Love.
I will. Okay. Love it. Okay, 2 is, what are your top 5 makeup products right now?
Okay, I'm gonna go. For the rest, I'm not gonna explain too much,
Yes,
guys.
that's fine.
I feel like this is supposed to be quick fire.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
That's
okay.
You can do less. You can do more.
Okay, I love a good, as I say in every single podcast, I feel a good graphic liner.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, I want to really invest in like different colors and stuff. I want to have just a little bit more fun. Okay, graphic liner. Which lipstick? I don't know. You know what? I'm an Essence everything.
Okay.
I like affordable, but like also a good product. My LA Girl concealer.
Oh.
I cannot live without her.
Absolutely agree.
She's my girl.
Absolutely agree.
And then I don't know, some sort of highlighter. I like a good highlighter just to accentuate the cheekbones.
Yes.
I don't have it myself, but it's one highlighter that my friend has it. It's a MAC. It's one of the MAC ones.
Ooh.
And I was like, this is so expensive, but I can see why.
Yeah.
It is so good. And then not makeup, but just something I'm into and really want to get into is perfume. I'd love it.
Ooh, yes. Gotta smell delish.
Just the lingering scent when you walk by.
Yes. Gotta smell delish. Gotta smell delish.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 things that you carry in your bag every day. Like, okay, maybe
Your laptop.
Does it make up all 5? Yes.
My wallet.
Yes.
I actually do carry a book.
Okay.
Because I'm in my reading era.
I love it.
My cell phone.
Of course.
Content phone.
Of course.
You know.
That could be 3, 4.
It could be 3, 4, but
Yes.
I'm on my 5th one. What else do I carry in my bag? I have to have some lip eyes
or something. Cannot walk around with dry. Chapped. Please. Okay. What are 5 things or people that you cannot live without? Can be things, can be people, can be things, can be people. I just said the same thing.
5 things that I cannot live without.
Yeah.
In quotation marks. Wi-Fi.
Oh, take it there.
Just the internet, you know.
Ish.
Well, just that connectivity.
Yeah.
I can live without airtime, but Wi-Fi I can't.
Okay, yeah, I hear that.
Because I can call on WhatsApp. I can do the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So if there's Wi-Fi or like data, I need that.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I can be on TikTok. So TikTok will be my next one.
Oh my gosh.
I could live without TikTok, but I don't want to. So, and again, in doses. TikTok just makes my day a little bit that much better.
Yeah.
So I'll say TikTok and YouTube.
Okay.
Because those are my social media platforms of choice.
Yeah.
And they're just better than the others.
True. YouTube the mostest for me.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, me too.
True.
But TikTok's a bit just crazy, which is fine. I'm not going to make this about people. I'm just making it things.
Okay.
People I can live without you all. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Food. Not as in like actual like food for sustenance.
Yes.
But like food for enjoyment.
Ooh.
And like I'm really into getting a bit more intentional with what I'm eating and feeding my body.
Yes.
We'll talk about this. Reminds me to tell you about cycle syncing, which is something I'm like getting into as well.
Okay.
But like specific recipes, if I had a long day, I think, or I've just had a tough thing, food is like a little simple pleasure in my life. So even with my breakfast, having like specific kind of meals with fruits and whatever, just spending a little bit more of my money on food and trying out different recipes. It's really nice for myself, and because I live at home, I can also cook for my parents and my family, and you know, they work hectically, so it's also a nice thing to do for them. So food in that sense. And then the others, I don't know. I really can't think of others. I'll just say my friends and my family.
Love it. Love it. And then we have a bonus one. Wisest words you have ever heard that apply the most to you that you've ever heard.
The wisest words I have ever heard. Jeez. That's such a hard one. Don't you want to take that for me? You share one while I think.
Okay. Wow. Literally, for me, everything is going to work out just as it should. Those are the wisest words that I've ever heard. Because you can get lost in it, hey, and you can think that you are not enough, or that you're lost, or that you're stuck, or that you're behind, and that can affect how you choose to move forward in your life. So for me, and it always reminds me that I don't need to go anywhere too quickly. I don't need to do too much. Everything is going to work out perfectly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think for me, these aren't the wisest words I've ever heard, but the wisest words that are super relevant to where I am in my life right now at this moment, I would say is someone else's success, someone else's beauty, someone else's joy does not mean or equate to the absence of your own. People can have amazing things happen for them, and you can celebrate them and be happy for them, and know that that is on its way to you too, that is available to you too. And so you don't have to covet, you don't have to envy, you don't have to be angry at God or your life for things not being available to you in your life. If they're not there, they're coming. And if anything, the love people are receiving, the success, the opportunities should just be a reminder that it's possible. And if you have that desire in you, you're deserving of it, and it will come in its due time. So that would be mine.
Was so good. I told y'all.
That's an abundance, child.
That's not abundance. I told y'all that Bokang was the perfect person to have on this episode. Girl, we've reached the end. I wonder how many hours.
So comfortable. It was so nice.
Oh my gosh. No, I you made me comfortable. You know, when I'm around you, I'm just like super chill. Like, I'm very excited. You know what, B? Actually, I'm gonna say this on a public platform. You make like the little versions of me, the younger versions of me, like so happy, like I'm so comfortable around you. Like I can like really come out and like show myself, and you don't think I'm weird. Even the weird aspects of me, you're
I
like
do think you're weird. For the record.
Don't listen to anything she's saying.
Right, she is weird.
One thing Bokang is gonna do is she's gonna shed a light and it's gonna be bright. She thinks I'm weird and she absolutely loves me. She's like obsessed with me. Just like her dog PJ is, guys. One day I'm gonna bring PJ onto the podcast.
It's gonna be Tara's favorite episode.
No, it really will, because I absolutely love PJ. But yeah.
You're basically PJ's godmother.
I basically am, even though he's this grown. I need to catch up and get him like gifts and treats and stuff. Can always catch up. I adore PJ. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
Thanks
I appreciate
for having me. This was so good.
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved having this conversation. It was also like we were just talking like how we're usually just talking. So
honestly,
I was just recording and I'm gonna go edit.
Yeah.
There's nothing to edit here. I feel like I can just upload. I'm gonna just upload. Y'all will be fine.
Listen back, and then
everyone will be fine. Everyone will be fine. No, guys, thank you so much for joining me. For joining myself and Bokang. If you are looking to get to know her more, she's not really on the socials that much. My girl's over the social media. She's over it, but you can still go and find her on social media. And she is Bokang everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then her professional pages, her business pages, it is at the B word everywhere. Go look on TikTok, especially for motivation to watch and listen to all of the things on her channel, on her platforms, because that's a really good place to start. Like, you get nice snippets and you're like, oh, okay, more.
Gives you a little taste.
Yes.
Of the full meal.
Yes. So yeah, guys, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget that you can listen to A Cupful on all listening platforms. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know if you did. And give the podcast a 5-star rating. I think I ask, at this point, I'm begging everyone to just rate the podcast 5 stars. I'm begging you. Okay? That's the truth. I am begging you guys. So please come through for the girl. Yeah, and I appreciate the support, the constant support. We're actually almost at the end of the season. Almost at the end of season 3. Wow. Yeah, that's really exciting. It's great to see that this podcast is growing day by day, and there are people that are listening, and it is impacting whoever needs it the most, and I'm really, really happy about that. Please have a beautiful remainder of this week. Rest when you need to, work when you need to, be kind to yourself and other people, and most importantly, don't forget to keep doing the things that fill your cup.